What's going on, guys? Blake Reiner here. I'm your host for the ASIC Miners podcast. Today we're going to be talking about miner pricing and how it works, even in the bear market that we're in today. We like to keep these podcasts kind of short and sweet. You know, it's really straightforward information, but we also like to keep it live. I don't plan on doing many edits on what I'm saying here today, so bear with me. So again, it's all about information dissemination. That's what we're doing here today, guys. So let's talk about miner pricing. The markets are wild in this business. We have the majority of the market controlled by Chinese manufacturers. The really good, reliable manufacturers such as Bitmain, MicroBT that creates What's Miner, Silicon, Canon, Goldshell, Jazz Miner. All of those, aside from Goldshell, technically are from China and have a Chinese factory. Goldshell is technically from South Korea, but they have a Chinese factory, right? So they dictate the market, guys. Like they keep these prices where they're at, and it's pretty crazy because from them, right, they're the source. It then goes to resellers in China, right? Shenzhen, Hong Kong, all these guys throughout the country. What they do is they buy all these miners and they buy them in bulk. They pay a bunch of money for them way in advance to get a super reasonable price, which is awesome, right? But it takes a lot of money, a lot of time. And say they pay 6 months in advance and they buy a bulk order that's going to be delivered, call it 500 miners, and they get 100 miners a month for 5 months, and they pay for that 6 months in advance. That's pretty strategic by the factory, but also by the supplier, because normally, in the last year or two, we've seen Bitcoin fly, right? And so if you buy in advance and you buy cheap, you can sell these things for more than you bought them for. Double, triple, quadruple, 5 times the amount that you bought it for. And so it is very, very lucrative. So from the producer, such as Bitmain, it goes to the resellers, and yes guys, you can buy from Bitmain, right? You can buy directly from the manufacturers such as Bitmain, MicroBT, whatever it may be. But using Bitmain is a good example because they're the most popular. You have to have KYC, right? Know your customer. And Bitmain asks for a bunch of information. It's a pretty crazy process, right? They want your passport information. They want I don't know if they want your social security number, to be honest. I don't think they do. But passport information is pretty crazy. We've had guys call us and they're like, hey, I tried to buy from Bitmain. It was a crazy process. It didn't even go through, right? Their computerized service wouldn't accept my passport, right? So you don't even know what you're going to get. But, all in all, that makes it a little bit more challenging to buy from the manufacturer all the time. They're sold out. Goldshell is a great example of that, right? Goldshell has really competitive pricing when you get them right from Goldshell, when you get the miner right from Goldshell, right? So, I don't know, I'm trying to record this on video too, so we'll see if that works, but I have 2 KD boxes in front of me. One's a KD box, one's a KD box Pro. But when you want to buy a KD box, this is just an example. Goldshell will announce it, and commonly they announce it on Twitter, and it's at 7 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever it is. It's that's standard Central Time is what I'm referring to. So often I'm sleeping, and so I miss the opportunity, and they're sold in 5 minutes. Not only that, you have to look at their picture and you have to do some math equation, and then you go to the link, and then they have you enter in the information and the answer, right? And then you get it wrong the first time, and then you got it wrong the first time, you're screwed. Because that 30-second delay that takes you to get back to the screen that you needed to be at, everything's sold out. So it's kind of a pain in the butt there, but the resellers offer that advantage, right? And so, using us as an example of a technical reseller, because that's what we are, we just offer a really straightforward process. And there's other guys out there that do that too, but we pick up the phone, we talk to you, and we say, hey, look, this is the unit that you want. We figure out a payment method, whether that's wire, USDT, credit card, whatever it is. We accept all those. That's super advantageous, guys, because, think about this, right? We're in a market that is absolutely full of scams, like just ridiculously full of scams. And when you have guys that'll pick up the phone, and when you have legitimate communication, it offers this amount of service that people are used to. Because what I like and what people normally want is an Amazon level type service, right? I love being able to go on my phone and just go, boom, buy now on Amazon. That is not the case in this market. Granted, it's very new, right? So since it's very new, it's e-commerce, right? It's so new that you can, yes, buy these units on Amazon, but I mean, when you really think about it, the Amazon prices are so crazy that you're not going to click buy now because you're, paying 20 grand for a machine, or 15 grand, or 10 grand, or whatever it is. You're not going to click buy now. It's just not going to happen, right? You're buying a car, guys. I mean, you're paying, but you're getting hopefully a better ROI on the machine than you are on the car. I always say I like appreciating assets, not depreciating assets, which is why I drive a Kia Optima. I think it's a 2009, 130,000 miles on it. It's got a lot of life left in her, and I'm very proud of that. But that's beside the point. So getting back to the miner pricing, short term, when you really look at miner pricing, you got to consider what market that we're in, right? So if we're in a bear market, or if we're in a bull market, things are going to be a little bit different. And I'll start with a bull market, right? When the market's pumping, when Bitcoin's at 65,000 and everybody's loving this and they're FOMOing into it and they're saying, I want to buy a miner because I believe in Bitcoin, I believe in Cadena, I believe in Litecoin. That's a beautiful thing because I also believe in every single one of those assets. I am a maximalist. When that happens, miner prices go up very quickly. So if we're at 65,000 and an S19 is priced at $15,000, call it a 110, right? S19 Pro 110 is priced at $15,000, and the market's at 65,000 and it's bull. We see a go from 65,000 to 68,000, right? Call it a 2 to 3% jump, right? I don't know if my percentages are right, but call it a 2 to 3% jump. The next day, you're gonna have guys coming back and they're gonna push their pricing. And when I say guys, I mean the Chinese resellers, the Chinese market, right? Those miner prices are going to increase very quickly. If not the next day, then the day after. Now, on the contrary, if we're in a bull market and we see a 6% to 8% to 10% decrease in price, right? We're at 65,000, we see a 10% drop, right? The next day, nothing's going to drop. No miner prices are going to drop. Nothing's going to happen. Maybe a little bit of a drop, probably not, right? We're going to see those prices on the miners after a 10% drop in a bull market decrease 1 to 2% over the next 7 to 14 days. Now, is that exact? Absolutely not. These are approximate estimates, guys, but it gives you a really good understanding of the proportion that the market will decrease, that the market will increase in the market that it's at. So when you really think about that, you then go to the other side. You look at the bear market, right? When you look at the bear market, you say, okay, what's going on here, right? So we're in a bear market right now, so it's a really good understanding of today's, where we are today. And with that being said, let's use the same kind of analysis. So Bitcoin's at 30,000 and miner prices are slowly catching up, right? So they're slowly getting to where they need to be. Now, going from 65,000 all the way down to 30,000 to get into that bear market from the bull market, the miners have slowly dropped. They've slowly dropped, right? Over the last month or two, we've seen Bitcoin drop, and it's dropped pretty hard. Especially, there's been these 3 to 4 day increments where it's just flown downward. The miner prices have not, right? Yes, they've dropped. There's no question they have dropped significantly since the market started to drop. But that being said, have they caught up? Absolutely not. We're seeing 1,000-day ROIs on S19s right now with pricing. Like, it's insane, right? It's crazy. These S19s should be priced much lower than they are. There's no question they should be priced much lower, right? But that's not the way it works, because when you look at the analysis, there's an argument that can be made, okay, Bitcoin's not in a true bear market. and it's going to go back up. And when it goes back up, then the miners will catch right back up, and everything will go back to the way it was, and they'll be way too expensive, and everything else under the sun, right? So, when you consider a bear market, you're going to get the miners to go down. There's no question. But they need time to catch up. Those price drops need time to catch up. So it's always been said, buy when there's blood in the streets. There is absolutely blood in the streets right now. Yes, you should be buying, but you should buy the right unit. You should buy what you can ROI the quickest on. You should make sure that you are buying what you can afford. You are making sure you are spending what you can lose if it happens, right? That's the markets 101, right? But when you really get down to the whole grasp of the market pricing, it's dictated, it goes back to the beginning, right? It's dictated by the Chinese market, right? What's going to fix that? It's diversity in the production side of things. And let's bring in Intel, right? Intel is entering the market in quarter 3 2022, right? That's what they say. They're based out of California. It's a beautiful thing. Granted, how is that going to impact the market? Because yes, we are going to have a United States-based supplier, if you will. Where are their factories producing at? Are they producing overseas? Are the resellers that have already established themselves so well in the market able to just snag those units right away and then sell them at a premium, just like they're doing with Bitmain's products, Miner products, InnoSilicon, Canon, Goldshell, Miner, all of those guys, right? Are they going to do the same thing? Because they have the capital and the cash to do it, right? And so if they have the capital and the cash to do it, what's stopping them from continuing to do it? And they control the market. The control of the market's always going to be with the biggest player that has the deepest pockets. It's sad to say, but I think it's true. That's my opinion. I'm not advising any. This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice, okay? I am not giving anybody financial advice. What I'm doing is I'm speculating with the best data that I have based on the past. That's the ticket, right? So hopefully we don't see that happening with the resellers grabbing anything. Right now, Intel is selling all of their units to the big boys anyway, such as Argo Blockchain, Hive Blockchain, and other large miners, right? So we probably won't even see those things come to market for a long time. I think Square, maybe they'll jump in. I have no idea. It's really speculative at this point, but that's our analysis of miner pricing. I hope you guys enjoyed it a little bit. Post questions, comments below. I can address any of that. We're gonna try and be on YouTube. We're heavy on Twitter. Check us out. We have social media all over the place. Look at our website, muskminers.com, Instagram, Reddit. We're on Reddit as well. Telegram. Hit us up at any time, any day. We'd love to see you. Until then, stay safe, guys. Do not invest what you can't lose, and we wish you all the best of luck.